Greetings everyone. Bit of an update on the 800XL system I've been working on. I'm just setting it up for my own use, and I didn't record it, but I have done some work on it internally, which I'll show you now. Let's see. Let's move this keyboard out of the way, and you'll notice something rather new in here. Get these cables out of the way, and you may not be able to see that too well, but that is an ultimate 1 megabyte board for the Atari 8-bit series. I work on most of the 8-bits as far as I know, and anyways, it's a fairly good unit. It doesn't just have the 1 meg upgrade, which is good on its own. Actually, it works as a RAM disk under MyDOS, Sparta-DOS, even DOS 2.5, although it sets it up as a 130xe RAM disk, which isn't too big, but it still works. And any other programs that use extended memory beyond 64K will work with this. It can impersonate several different RAM upgrades, including the Rombo 1088, the CompiShop, and I think one or two other Axlon upgrades as well. And I set it up just like it was shown in a video on the channel called Flash Jazz Cat, who also developed firmware for this as well, which I bought loaded onto this already. And if you go check out his channel, he's got a lot of info on this, and you'll see it demonstrated better than I could. And I really should organize these cables a bit better so it doesn't look so disorganized in there. But basically it has 4 wires on this header. There are actually 4 pins on the CPU that it connects to, but I followed the Flash Jazz Cat method. Instead of soldering it directly to the CPU pins or running it around the other side of the board and soldering it underneath, he had actually found some vias, including this one and a few others under here, like this one and a couple under there you can't really see, and one on the PVI port right there. Hopefully you can see that. Anyways, he found a spot where you can actually connect the 4 different vias on the board, which is what I did. As long as you're careful with the soldering, it's actually fairly easy to do. Of course, there's the MMU chip, which would plugged in here. That's a 16V8 GAL chip, normally. And also the kernel ROM, or the OS ROM, which plugs into that socket there. And luckily for me, as you can probably see, all of the ICs in this 800XL are all socketed, which makes doing repairs and upgrades a whole lot easier. Otherwise, this machine is stock, other than, of course, the recapping that you saw me do in the previous video, and also on the other side. I won't show you here, but if you look at that video, you'll see I ran a wire, the one that's held down with some blue electrical tape, from the junction between 2 resistors where the chroma signal is, out to the video port, so that you can do less video with this. Because for some unknown reason, Atari allocated 2 pins on the video port for chroma and luma to do S-video, but never connected the chroma through the PCB for I don't even know why. But anyways, there's a couple other goodies I ordered a couple of weeks ago from these guys. This for, well, they could be women too, I don't know. Either way, they're good place. Anyways, Retro Lemon has a lot of these upgrades for Atari stuff and some other things. I'll get that out of the way. and pull these out. Now this is not just an SIO connector, but I'll show you in a second. This may not show up too well on the camera, which doesn't seem to focus very well at all. It's a fixed focus camera, very cheap, but that's the downside. Anyways, and here is a micro USB connection, and the circuit board inside holds an FTDI chip set up as a 1052 PC or an SIO2 PC. Now this, when plugged in, you can plug it into a floppy drive, an Atari floppy drive with an SIO port, and use a program called Kafar on a PC, where you can convert your Atari discs to ATR disk images or transfer them over to an PC. Or you can use two programs. They're called Aspect or Respect with a Q instead of a C. And those can impersonate either hard drive partitions or actually let you mount a directory, a PC directory with some Atari files, or even some ATR disk images as well, to your, actually right in the back of your computer, and your 8-bit computer, and the 8-bit computer can use the PC as a virtual floppy drive or hard drive, or a few of each. Of course, some of you would know what this is. Side 3 cartridge, and that plugs into friendly neighborhood cartridge port. It may not be noticeable here, but it also has an SD card slot. And this allows you to load, I think, cartridge images, like bin files or car files of cartridges. Also executable files like XEX files or whatever extension you normally use on the Atari. And it can also mount, you can also make hard drive images and what else? The 16 meg or even 32 meg hard drive images, like are images of hard drive partitions, or even ATR images to emulate floppy disks on here as well, or even have like a fat 32 partition if you wanted to. The good thing about this, the additional feature, which I forgot to mention, the Ultimate U1MB also has, is both of these have, it's a real-time clock. You can maybe see the battery right there, or here on the Ultimate U1MB. Those, it's like the what is it? The R-Time 8 cartridge the ACD used to make for the Atari 8-bits back in the 80s. And it also has Spartacus X, which is also used to be from ICD when they still made them. And those were, well, if you probably know what Spartacus X is, it's Spartacus on a cartridge, a command line DOS, and which also has the time and date, which can read the real-time clock for your dating and putting the timestamps on your files. And also the Spartacus X and the R-Time 8, the clock, are also on the Ultimate U1MB. Because the two of these, you don't have to use them together. You can use one or the other. But if you do use them together, the PBI BIOS, which is in the flash ROM on the Ultimate U1MB, allows you full ATR support and the hard drive disk support on here as well. Which actually they do have some cooperation in here. And the other thing, if you go to Flash Jazzcat's website, which you can find on his channel, he's also done some firmware for this and also for this, and you can get updates from his site as well for either one of these or both. which is pretty good. So you should definitely check out his channel, and I'll try to put a link in the description below on the video so you can check him out and his site and his channel. So anyways, that's it for now, and the next few videos coming out, you should see these in use, especially once I get that video capture finally working. Anyways, bye for now, and have a good day or evening or whichever it is.